What's up, Christ-centered mental health community? This is me, David Lee Sarche. I represent Christ-centered mental health, the ministry where I talk about mental health awareness from a Christian perspective in order to give you real hope in Jesus' name to the glory of God the Father. All right, before we get started on this podcast of real life with schizophrenia, I just have a quick announcement for those of you that are new to the channel. Please check out the Christ-centered mental health ministry website. It's www.christcenteredmentalhealth.net. There you can have access to On Faith and Mental Health blog. You can check out our statement of faith. You can check out the Christ Center Mental Health Ministry store. You can find out how to contact me or someone on the team for 24-hour peer support. And you can find out how to support the ministry through Patreon, Venmo, or Cash App. As I said, this is mine and Joseph's bi-weekly podcast of real life with schizophrenia, where we talk about different topics concerning faith and mental health. How you doing today, Joseph?
I'm good. Recently lost my job, but I'm getting a new one probably around next year. So I'm just gonna take this time to see my family and get the holidays over with, and and do all that stuff. But um,
That's good.
I'm glad I
Yeah,
have a
just
little bit of freedom.
yeah, that's true. I can understand that because like I have a little bit of freedom too until January 5th. January 5th is when I start my biblical counseling class, and so after January 5th, I'm gonna be pretty busy too. Like, and I might get a job in January also, so that's gonna
Cool.
take up most of my time. So, but right now I'm in the same boat as you. I have pretty much an open schedule. I could just relax, like do what I need to do, like do just have fun. Like I could just kind of relax right now. But yeah, like so, the topic we agreed to talk on is social media and mental health. And since this was your idea to talk about, I'll let you start the conversation.
Uh, I think I don't know how the audience feels about this, but I want to assume that most people have some kind of social media platform that they use. I tend to go on Facebook a lot. Met some cool people on there, but at the same time, it's not real life. You gotta go out there. I know nowadays it seems like most people stay indoors and don't do too much interaction. It seems dangerous out there, but as a Christian, we're supposed to witness to people, and it's a lot more effective when you do it one on one with someone at a job, maybe at a grocery store, or maybe a club you go to, something like that, where you actually interact with people and not a screen. Because you witness to people on Facebook, and you go into some page where it has all kinds of people on it. People are gonna gang up on you. They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna call you all kinds of names and stuff. But in person, you look rather ridiculous when you do stuff like that in public. So I think people
Yeah,
have more of a chance to hear you out in person rather than on a platform like Facebook or whatever. Like I think you can be more effective in person, but like
it definitely
it,
is. It definitely is a strange phenomenon. Like I remember when I was younger, people were more outgoing. People would talk to each other outside. They like I remember playing with friends outside, having a good time. Like yeah, like I did like when I was a kid, I did like video games and I wanted my friends to come over to play video games with me. But like there was also times where if I wanted to hang out with my friends, I'd have to actually leave my house and hang out with them outside. And it seems like nowadays no, I don't. I rarely see kids outside these days.
yeah.
Like most of the time, kids are stuck indoors. They're playing video games or they're on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Like kids aren't really playing outside anymore. Like
Yeah, it's getting to a point where people don't even want to interact with cashiers anymore. They want to do everything on a kiosk and stuff,
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's getting kind of sad where human interaction is becoming obsolete. And
I still remember. I still remember the first time I ever heard of this idea of social media. I remember when I was in juvenile detention. There was an incident that happened with my old therapist at the time. I'm not gonna go into that, but like there was an incident that happened there, and I heard the idea of MySpace, and I was like, I asked someone on my unit, I was like, "What is MySpace?" And they said, "Oh, it's social media." And I paused for a second, and I was like, "What is social media?"
Right.
That's how long. That's I mean, I was in juvenile detention because before I went into juvenile detention, there was no social media, and then when social media, MySpace came out when I was locked up, so I had no idea what social media was.
Yeah, I never really interacted with MySpace too much, but some people consider YouTube social media because you can leave comments and stuff. But I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of it. It's just that you can use it to get your voice out there and your creative ideas and whatnot. A lot of people call themselves creative content creators or whatever.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I
it
just feel like there's a lot
It
more.
definitely, it definitely like YouTube. Like some people say, well, why don't you, if you want to not be censored, why don't you go to Rumble? But I feel like YouTube is probably the best platform to get the gospel out to to the good amount of people out there. Like Rumble, you're kind of preaching to the choir, but YouTube, you can like get your message out to the majority of people out there. So.
Yeah, yeah. So YouTube, Rumble, yeah, it's good for like conservative content and whatnot. But I think YouTube is the best when it comes to theology and like
Yeah,
different views and stuff, and and so. But
like it does suck when YouTube censors you, but I mean at the same time though, like I know it's easier for us as content creators to get the message of the gospel out to people than it would be being in an echo chamber.
yeah, and fortunately, they censor mostly political stuff. Like
Yeah,
we can
exactly.
still spread our message without talking about like vaccines and left wing things that we don't approve of and stuff. So
Yeah,
we don't need to be talking about that. The core message just hasn't been censored so far. So
exactly. Like we could talk about the gospel and for now, the YouTube doesn't care.
yeah, so there's advantages to social media, but when it comes to mental health, I think someone like me that has ADHD who has like a lack of dopamine. Like it is nice to get attention on Facebook and get like likes and laughs and and
Yeah,
approval and stuff. But then when you don't get that, it can make you depressed, and then you're
yeah.
like, so
That's actually it's funny you say that because one of the articles we're gonna go over actually talks about that.
yeah,
Like, but yeah, it's like honestly, like the only reason why I'm pretty much on Facebook really is because this ministry is primarily online. Like I'm already planning on once God opens up the doors for me to start the Christ Center Mental Health Peer Support Clinic, I'm probably gonna get off of Facebook. Like I'll still stay on YouTube, but I'm probably gonna get off of Facebook because Facebook, like, I don't really need Facebook. Like Facebook is just a waste of time. Like, I mean that's if God ever opens up those doors. But like I hope He does. But like yeah, like you said, Facebook is like a dopamine rush. Like you'll post something, and if people give you a lot of likes on your post, you get excited. It's like it kind of it also messes with people's self image too, because if you're already like if you're already self conscious and you go on Facebook and you start seeing all these people posting all these pictures of themselves and they like show them at their best how they look, it could cause you to be like, wow, I don't look like that, like,
yeah,
but you don't understand that those pictures are not real half the time.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like, like all these AI created images and all these AI created videos and all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's starting to wonder like, is this real or not when you second
yeah,
guess everything you see on there, you know. And
exactly. See, but like I don't know. Like I feel like there's other ways that someone can get a dopamine rush that has nothing to do with social media. Like I feel like people like to get too dependent on social media and like to get that dopamine rush. But if you want to get a dopamine rush, why don't you go exercise, go on a run, or go on a power walk, or even
clean
like
your
read
house.
or clean your house or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, like I know sometimes when I'm reading my books, believe it or not, I sometimes get a dopamine rush just by reading my books. Like, so it's like there's other ways that you can get a dopamine rush um, that doesn't involve social media.
Yep. I agree, but in this day and age, we're going more and more towards the technological revolution, so to speak. And
Yeah,
in 2030, it's probably going to be the norm to see driverless cabs everywhere, and like robots
yeah,
making the food, and all this stuff. And like they might come out with a universal income, so working will be optional. And I'm not looking forward to stuff like that, but you got to do what you got to do if we live in a time like that. So whatever.
exactly, exactly. I'm not looking for that time either. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just hope that when that time comes, I hope they don't get rid of books because like it's gonna be a sad time if I lose all my books. Like,
Is that what they did in Idiocracy or whatever that movie's called? Did they get rid of books?
oh, in Idiocracy,
Yeah.
there's a part in there where they do hint at how they yeah, there's a part in the movie where they kind of make a slight jab and say like saying that the reason why everybody became stupid was because people stopped reading books, which actually makes sense because like I've said before on this platform that when you read, it strengthens your critical thinking skills. That's actually a proven fact. Like the more you read, the more you're able to critically think. Especially when you read books that you disagree with, because when you're
Mm.
reading a book that you disagree with, you're engaging with the book, and you're intentionally responding to the material that you're reading in the book. Like for instance, like I read Richard Dawkins' book The God Delusion. I must have read that book like 5 or 6 times, and like each time I read that book, I feel like like Richard Dawkins' arguments in that book is completely ridiculous. Like his book is so stupid. Like what was it? What was something he said in there? He said okay, so he was talking about C.S. Lewis's book Lord Liar and Lunatic. No, he was talking about C.S. Lewis's book where C.S. Lewis's argument where he was talking about Jesus, and like he mentioned how C.S. Lewis said Jesus is only Lord, liar, or lunatic, and those are only three options. And Richard Dawkins was like, well, C.S. Lewis forgot there was a fourth option. And he's like, the fourth option is that Jesus was simply mistaken. And it's like,
So he
well,
was a lunatic.
exactly. Yeah, he was a lunatic, or he like. I'm like, dude, like,
Like who in the right mind would let the Romans torture him to death, like over like like something that was false, like it was just a made up story.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Another argument Richard Dawkins makes in that book, he calls it his Boeing 747 argument, and it's his like central argument in the book. Like he said, he was talking about intelligent design, and I'm just going to paraphrase what he said. But he said the universe is not intelligently designed. It just appears that way after years and years and years of evolution. And he said, but even if the universe is intelligently designed, that just begs the question of who designed the designer, which is basically who created God. When I read that, I was like, that is literally the dumbest argument I ever heard in my entire life.
That's
Because you
simple. He always existed.
he always existed. That's the definition of being eternal.
Yeah.
Like you don't, and plus, like in order to have an explanation for something, you don't need an explanation for the explanation. If something is the best explanation, then that's all you need. Like if you were
Yeah.
to
Well,
like, if you
why
were to
would the ultimate creator need a creator?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like that's the whole point of the Kalam cosmological argument when he says, everything that begins to exist must have a cause. The universe began to exist, therefore the universe must have a cause. Basically, that basically like God did not have a cause, so therefore he did not, God did not have a beginning, so therefore he didn't need a cause.
Hmm.
But anyways, we're
I
kind of
mean, it
getting
makes them. Oh yeah.
getting off topic. So okay, I'll go ahead and go to the first video. Let me see. Uh, okay. All right. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Okay, as you guys can tell, this is a TED talk. I really like these TED talks that talk about mental health. Like sometimes I feel like TED talks get kind of too political, but I like their TED talks where they're talking about mental health. I think they're really good. And as you can tell, this the title of this bit TED talk is called "Effects of Social Media on Mental Health." So I was thinking it might be a good one for us to review.
Yeah.
Social media. I am also guilty of posting the one good picture, hiding the imperfections by editing a picture to make it look better than it originally was. For example, I posted this on Instagram last May. Do you know how many pictures I took to find one that I thought was worthy of being posted on social media? 512. Oh, and did I
It
mention
took
it was
her
still
512 pictures before she found one to post on social media.
No, I'm not like that at all. I just take one picture and I'm like, there you go.
I agree. That's how I am too. Well, sometimes if like I don't like how I looked in the picture, I might take another picture, but I'm not gonna take a picture of myself 512
Yeah,
times.
that's funny.
Yeah, but that actually, you know what? That actually shows like how mental or how social media can affect your self image. It's
Yeah, you're
like
always
I
looking
knew
for
I
approval.
Well, I remember I knew a girl one time. I forgot what her name was. I think it was like Sandra Strode or something. I don't remember. But like I knew her like she would always post pictures of herself on Facebook and like when you see her picture, you would say, "Oh man, this girl is a really good-looking girl." But then like when you see a picture of her without her makeup, she looked like Gollum. Like,
Well,
so
maybe she was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
yeah, maybe yeah.
edited. I edited the setting with a background filter to make it look prettier, whitened my teeth, and even edited a tan on. However, I am not alone. Not only do all my friends do the same, but statistics show that 71% of people edit their pictures before posting them to social media. I've also
I believe that 71% of people edit their pictures before posting them on on social media. I do believe that, like, because
I must
people
be in the minority then, because I don't do that.
I don't do that either, but I can see people doing that though, because people are so focused on, oh, I gotta look good in front of people. I have to, because like it's like they look at other friends and their pictures, like they show pictures of themselves on vacation and working out. They always try and make themselves look really good, and
Right.
so other people, it's kind of like the whole concept of keeping up with the Joneses. Like you see all these people posting pictures of themselves to make themselves look really good, so then someone else is like, well, I gotta look just as good to be compared to them. So then they post pictures themselves like that they edited, and it's like a never-ending cycle.
I remember about 15 years ago when I started going on it for like the first time on Facebook. I remember a lot of people would post pictures and they would look like dogs, like they'd have a dog mouth and
Oh
whiskers
yeah.
and ears and stuff. I thought that was ridiculous. Like, I want to see your actual face, not a dog. You know,
Well, I remember when I first started going on social media, the big thing I saw was girls doing pictures where they were making duck lips.
oh yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like Jessica Simpson would do it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Point out that the like count is off for this picture because it only got 800 likes. And I do not want anyone to see that I only got 800 likes.
Oh, come on.
There's nothing like fueling your growth with 2 times points on select business purchases and access to over $3,500 in business and travel value
Oh,
annually.
we got to get into this.
There's nothing like business platinum.
However, for this picture that got nearly 1,200 likes, I left the like count up for everyone to see. Oh yeah, you bet I did, because somehow that makes me better. Hello, my name is Kelly Drzezinski, and today I will be talking about overuse of social media and the negative effects it has on our mental health. Social media forces you to compare yourself to others, but oftentimes you are comparing yourself to an image that might be edited to a point where it is a
I understand how social media can cause you to compare yourself to others, but like I don't know, like you said before, I must be in the minority too because when I see other people on Facebook posting, I don't really feel a need to compare myself to them. The only time I actually compare myself to anyone, and I actually haven't done this in a while, but like there was a time where I would like be on YouTube and I'd be watching a Christian YouTuber like Ruslan, What Do You Mean, or Inspiring Philosophy, and I'll see how many subscribers they have, how many views they have, and I'll get like, man, why is it that I can't get a fan base like that? But that's the only time I actually ever compared myself to anyone on social media. Other than that, like on Facebook, when I see people posting pictures of themselves, I'm like, okay, like sometimes I like the picture, sometimes I scroll right past it, but I never actually felt the need to say, oh well, this person looks good, so I need to post a picture of myself to make myself look even better than they are. That thought never crossed my mind.
Well, about oh, it's 2019. I guess 6 years ago. I was in really good shape. Like I decided like I'm tired of being out of shape and I had a lot of time in my hands, so I just worked out a lot. It did get to my head, and I was posting a lot of pictures of myself and like trying to look like a fancy like model type of dude. But now I now I'm kind of out of shape now. I'm not really exercising anymore, and I'm getting gray hairs and stuff. Like I really don't care how I look. I'm married, so I'm not like not single anymore. So I'm not trying to look as best as I possibly can. I know some people might look at that and say like, "Oh, you should look good for your wife and stuff," but like
Yeah.
I don't feel like razzle dazzling myself up to the point where like I look as best as I possibly can anymore because like like the deal's been done. I found my wife.
See, I'm kind of opposite from you on that, bro. Like, 'cause, like before I met my wife, I was kind of letting myself go anyways because I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna get married. I'm just gonna, my mind is gonna deteriorate to the point where I'm gonna end up in a mental health group home anyways. So I might as well just drink all the Mountain Dew I want. I might as well eat all the junk food that I want and smoke all the cigarettes that I want because I had the same destination anyways. And then I met my wife, and that's when my whole mindset changed. I was like, you know what? I want to do better for my wife. I want to look good for my wife. So I'm going to stop drinking so much Mountain Dew. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop eating junk food. I'm going to be more active because I want. It's not that I'm comparing myself to other people, but I want to look good for my wife, and I that's my whole motivation about doing what I'm doing on this journey, on this health journey. My biggest motivation is because I want to look good for my wife.
Well, I would feel the same way, but like my wife kind of says like stuff like, "Oh, I don't mind a dad bod," and she says like, "I don't, you look good enough for me," and like she
Yeah,
also feels like even though this wouldn't happen, she feels that like if I got in really good shape, more women would hit on me more often than not, and like I would start returning the favor or something, even though I wouldn't, but like she doesn't want me to get extra attention and stuff, so.
yeah, I
Like
understand.
it makes it kind of hard to me. Makes me want to like hit the gym and get into shape again.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. That makes sense.
False representation. We often forget that people are posting at their best. I'm going to relate this to how it makes me feel, but I'm sure many of you can relate. When I see these posts, I often think to myself, are my clothes as good as hers? Do I get enough likes? Is my vacation as nice as this person's? Or wow, everyone was invited, why was I not? The longer I spend on social media, the more unworthy and sad I feel. But why? Why don't I just turn it off, put away my phone, and stop using it? How many times do you find yourself aimlessly scrolling on social media? We are not alone. The average person spends 2 hours and 22 minutes on social media alone daily.
That
And
is insane. The average person spends 2 hours and 22 minutes on social media daily.
Just basically doom scrolling, right, and
Yeah, doom scrolling.
reacting
Yeah,
to things, and yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, I don't know if I spend 2 hours a day on social media. But like sometimes, like if I'm bored or something, like I might go on social media on Facebook just to look at what. But like usually, okay, maybe it is 2 hours a day. But usually, what I do when I go on Facebook, because I read all day. So what I'll do is if I'm reading a book and I see and I read I read something that I really like that really affected me, I'll post a quote from that book on Facebook because I'm like I want to share with all my friends what I learned. Like that's why I do it. Like I don't just post quotes from my health. I want to share what I'm learning with other people in the hopes that maybe it'll have the same effect on someone else. Like I don't think I do that for 2 hours and 22 minutes per day though. I mean maybe I don't know, but like
Yeah, if you combine it, that's probably my average. Like at my former job, like I would wait a lot of like what I did was like wait for planes, and then when the plane got there, I would roll people in a wheelchair across the airport. And
yeah,
a lot of the time you're waiting for a plane to get there, so you're sitting there in your wheelchair and you're at the jet thing and you're waiting for the plane to get there, and what do you got to else to do? You can read a book. Sometimes I'd bring a little Bible with me and read that sometimes. And sometimes or other times I'd be on social media just wasting time and stuff, and it drained my phone. And and it's like
yeah,
I don't know, like so I probably did spend about that much time just debating people on there or trying to be funny and trying to get laughs or
yeah.
all the nonsense that's related to it. But I have left a couple times before in the past, but then I've come back and stuff, and I don't know, like I should just stay, but just not go on it as much. Just not make
Yeah.
it a big thing in my
That's
life.
why that's what I try and do. I try to not go on Facebook that often. Like, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll go on there to promote the ministry work or share a quote or something. But I try not to stay on Facebook because I don't know. I don't know about you, but I have an addictive personality.
I do
So
too.
it's easy for me if I go on Facebook, it's easy for me to get stuck on there for a long time doing
Yeah,
nothing. So like I try to if I go on Facebook, I'll try and go on there maybe for maybe like a couple minutes a day. Like I'll go on there, post a quote, look at maybe comment on someone's post, but then I try and go off. Or I'll go on there, share like something I like a blog I wrote or or a YouTube video I did, and then I get off. Like I try not to spend too much time on Facebook because I know myself. I know myself. If I stay on Facebook for longer than 5 minutes, then that 5 minutes is going to turn into an hour, and then that hour is going to turn into 2 hours. So
Yeah,
I try not to let that happen.
that's good. I need to start doing that. I yeah, like technology in general. I really it's too big of a part of my life. I'm probably even idolizing it to be honest. So
Yeah,
I need to put it aside a little bit, and I need to start doing things that matter, like like cleaning, for instance, or like
yeah,
I am going to take this time to relax a little bit before I start working again. But I could do other projects and stuff, and other stuff besides things
yeah,
that have to do with social media and like video games and whatnot. So I should,
yeah. Exactly. You could, like exercise or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And teens, ages 13 to 18, use an average of 9 hours of entertainment media. Tweens, ages 8 to 12, use an average of 6 hours of entertainment media, and this does not include the time they spend on media for school or homework. Do you ever want to leave a social media platform but find yourself saying one more post again and again? Do you ever wonder why we do this? Let me tell you. Social media platforms are addictive in the same way slot machines are. Since we don't know the content we will see when we open the app, the spontaneous results actually cause a feeling of reward by releasing dopamine, the same chemical linked to other pleasurable activities such as doing drugs. These platforms are strategically designed to keep us engaged by personalizing each individual's platform with their own interests. 69% of adults and 81% of teens use social media in the United States, and this number is continuing to increase.
Wait.
In a cooked up study,
Oh,
5 out
dang
of
it.
6
Come
amateur
on.
food critics loved the Toyota BZ. And number 6? Right. Critic's gonna critic. Let's give him a taste. One order of humble pie. To go. Toyota BZ. One drive can change your mind.
Man, I got to get that
What we
Toyota
forget though,
BZ.
Did she say 69% of adults and 81% of teens are on
Use
social
social media.
media?
Yeah, that's way more than half.
Yeah,
Most people.
exactly. Wow. That's great. See, you know what? Like this is why I don't know. Like I may idolize books. Books might be an idol in my life, but I'd rather have books be an idol in my life than to be addicted to social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like people might tell me I read too much because I read I read like a ton of books all at the same time. And yeah, books might be an idol in my life, but like, at least I don't know. I feel like if I'm gonna be addicted to something, I'd rather be addicted to books than be addicted to social media.
It's a lot healthier for you, for one thing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
as we let social media grab hold of us for hours on end, is the many negative effects it has on our mental health, especially for teens. Social media has strong ties to depression, anxiety, and feelings of isolation, especially among its heavy users. It has become a place to show off in hopes of being validated through likes and comments. Whether one posts their best vacation picture, newest material item, or another high point of their day, we constantly fail to recognize that life is not perfect and neither are we. Everyone hides their flaws to appear better than one another for more likes and validation. But what happens when we don't get this feedback that we want is we become disappointed and upset. As awful as these things may seem, we have yet to touch on the worst part of social media: cyberbullying. Over half of adolescents are bullied online, and about an equal amount engage in cyberbullying. Over 1 in 3 people have received a cyber threat,
That's
and
something
25%.
okay. That's something I never really understood about cyberbullying. Like I never really got that because if someone is harassing you online, Why don't people just think just to block the person?
Well, uh, I got doxxed before, and the blocking isn't really that. Other people can still see what they're doing. You may not be able to see, but
Oh, really?
yeah, people can still see what they're posting about you. So
Oh, so it's not really like blocking isn't really
and
that.
it's not as in some cases it's not that simple.
Oh,
And
that makes
like also like say you're in high school. I saw a movie about this. Like say you have a crush on a guy and you're talking to him, like next thing you know, a bunch of girls that don't like you might be saying you're sleeping with that guy and you're a slut, and like blocking just one or two of them is kind of shit. So I'm sorry
I
about
see what you're
that.
saying. Or even like, or yeah, it makes sense. Or even like, I remember years ago, there was this girl, I think she was in Canada. Her name was Amanda Todd. And I don't know exactly the full story behind her, but I know she actually was being cyber bullied for like many years. And it got to a point where the guy that was cyberbullying her, he actually ended up stalking her, and like she ended up taking her life
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of that. You
it
heard
does happen.
that?
Yeah. That first story is about things like where people get cyberbullied to the point where they commit suicide. That does happen a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Of people have been bullied repeatedly online. About half of these people fail to tell their parents when they are being cyberbullied. And the worst
Right, that's enough of that. You have any thoughts on that video?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like social media is like a drug. Like it can make you
Yeah,
happy for a moment, but it could like ruin your life if you're not careful.
exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah. It can ruin your life. You gotta that's why, like, I mean, it reminds me, the Apostle Paul said, what was it? I think it was in First Corinthians. He said, everything is permissible for me, but not all things are beneficial. Then he
Mhm.
said, everything is permissible to me, but I will not be mastered by anything. By everything, I mean. Like, and like basically what Paul is saying, like, while all things are lawful for us to do, like there's nothing that is out, like as long as it's not outright sin, like pretty much everything is permissible. If it's not against scripture, it's permissible to you to do. But at the same time, though, not everything is beneficial, and you shouldn't be mastered by whatever you're doing. So that's actually something I've been kind of learning, like when it comes to like cigarettes. Like I'm starting to learn not to let cigarettes master my life. And like it's the same thing with social media. Like
Yeah.
don't let social media master your life. Yeah, social media can be used for good purposes. Like you and me met each other off of social media. And
Mhm.
I met my wife after off of social media. So it's like social media can be used for good purposes, but you have to use it within moderation.
Yeah. So basically, I can still watch the Teletubbies. I just can't let it master my life.
Well, if you're watching Teletubbies at this age, I don't know what to tell you.
Uh, it's basically my acid trip without acid. That's why.
Yeah,
I'm
that makes
just, I'm just,
sense. I get
I'm just
that.
kidding.
All right, so we'll go to the next video. Uh, all right, can you see the video?
Yeah.
All right,
On Facebook,
can you hear it?
Yeah, he sounds a
Twitter,
little fruity.
Instagram, TikTok,
Let me
or any other.
let me start this over.
If you're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or any other social media platform, you've probably experienced a mix of good and bad feelings. In one moment, you share a funny meme with a friend you haven't been able to see in person, and you feel more connected and a little bit less lonely. But in the next moment, you find yourself doom scrolling, consuming tons of negative news, and your anxiety shoots up. This duality is what makes social media so controversial, And there's a lot of debate about the effect it has on our mental health.
The common saying I often hear is that social media is like comparing your blooper reel with.
What do you think about hold on. What do you think about that? Social media is like comparing your blooper reel with someone else's highlight reel.
Well, yeah, like because you see all these people, and a lot of people use social media to brag. Like if you get into debate with someone, they may they'll say like something like, "Well, my credit score is real high, and I live in a good neighborhood," and blah blah blah, and like, and
Yeah.
like or I go around and date all these fancy women all across the world, and I got all this money and stuff, like
Yeah.
and like yeah, that's
That's
fine and
actually
dandy and stuff, but it doesn't impress me.
that's actually something I learned when I was really young. Not really young. I was like in my early 20s. But something I learned was nothing is as it seems. So
Mhm.
like you might see someone driving a nice Lamborghini Diablo, and you might say, "Man, that guy must have a ton of money to be driving a Lamborghini." But what you don't see is how far in debt this guy is because he has to pay off all these car payments.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies to social media. You might see this person like posting all these pictures of him going to like France and China, Korea, Brazil, all these really nice places, and he's like with all these women, and he's at all these nice parties. But what you don't see is the fact that he has STDs, or that or you don't see it how he is the morning after he just got done partying hard and he has a hangover. You don't see how far in debt this guy is for spending all his money on vacations. These are things you don't see.
Yeah, and when people are like projecting this image of having a good time and stuff and living a lavish life, you really don't see the darker side of it because of course they're not going to expose that. So
Exactly.
like there's like people are going through a lot of problems right now. It's just like
Yeah. Exactly.
like so like when someone seems like real happy, like I even said it myself on social media. I said I I I mask my pain with my humor. So
Yeah.
I always try to be funny on social media and stuff, but like really I'm just trying to ease my pain, from my life and stuff with it. So
That's actually, I believe that's exactly what Robin Williams did. Like
yeah.
Robin Williams, I believe he maxed his pain. He masked his pain with humor.
Yeah. Yeah, because like it does make me feel good when I do make people laugh. I do enjoy that. I like to make people
Yeah,
laugh. I like to make people think I'm a clever, witty, funny person and stuff. And
yeah,
when I nail something, like I might say it over and over again, it'll lose its punchline, or
yeah,
like I'll just forget that I said it, and like I just know I did real well somewhere else, and
yeah,
I don't know the lifestyle of a comedian, I guess, but I do like making people laugh. That's one of the things I
yeah.
do enjoy about life.
That's good. Yeah, you are a funny guy, to be honest, bro.
I try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Someone else's highlight reel. So it's completely understandable why this makes you feel more anxious.
That's Nina Vasan. She's a clinical assistant professor of psychiatry and behavior sciences at Stanford, and she's the founder and executive director of Brainstorm, the Stanford Lab for Mental Health Innovation. Today, we're discussing social media, how it causes anxiety in multiple ways, the role that algorithms play in making this worse, and most importantly, what you can do to have a healthier experience online. My first question is, how does social media increase anxiety?
Social media leads to social comparison. And for some people, comparing ourselves to others leads to worsening of self-esteem and anxiety. Here are some examples. When you click like on someone's post, it may initially feel great. But then when you post,
I want to say something real
on the
quick.
number of likes.
yeah,
You know how these guys have real nice backgrounds and and they have real nice clothes on and stuff,
Yeah.
it lowers my self-esteem.
It lowers your self-esteem.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're comparing yourself to people talking about social media anxiety.
Likes you get and compare yourself to others. With social comparison, if you don't reach a certain number of likes or see that others have more than you,
I can see why. Okay, when I was younger, and I'd post posts on Facebook, if I didn't get like a bunch of likes, it would bother me. But nowadays, I don't know. I post stuff all day long, like quotes and stuff. I may get like one or two likes or one or two comments, and it doesn't bother me because I'm like, you know what? Like when I read something, I'm like it helped me out, and I don't know. I just don't. It doesn't bother me when people don't like my stuff. Now, it does bother me, like if I put out a blog and nobody reads my blogs, that bothers me. But like I don't know. The reason why that bothers me is because I did all this work putting out a blog, or I did all this work putting out a YouTube video or a live stream, and nobody's even paying attention. That bothers me because I feel like I did all this work for nothing. So that's why that bothers me. But if
Yeah.
I but if I post a Facebook post and nobody likes it, I just like okay, whatever. I just move on.
I remember I had another account, and I had about 2,000 friends, and most of them obviously I did not know. And
Yeah.
like, even though I had 2,000 friends, I was getting like maybe like at the most like 15 likes, and that was like on an average thing. On something good, it would get about 50, but it's like, okay, 50 likes, 2,000 friends. There's something wrong with this equation here. Like, well, like
Wait,
so.
wait, bro. You mean to tell me you don't know 2,000 people in your life?
No, not at all. Like, it would be weird. It's like when I'd post stuff, I didn't really get that much attention, and that would bother me. But then when I'd go on Messenger, it was like a big line of people just trying to scam me, and people trying to like trying to see where I'm from and how it was there and stuff. I was like, why don't you interact with me on my post, man? I can't
Yeah,
message every single person here. That would take too much of my time, like.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
you may feel anxious, feel bad about yourself, and have a drop in your self esteem. The content of social media also can worsen anxiety. For example, perhaps you see pictures of people on the beach in France. You compare yourself to them, their perfect body, the expensive vacation, all the friends they have laughing and smiling. This can trigger anxiety, promote certain constructs around beauty, and make you feel like your life is not good enough compared to others.
Can social media be good for my mental health?
Absolutely. If you're using social media to increase your social connection, for education, or to feel a deeper sense of authenticity and belonging,
I can understand that because like I that's another thing I kind of use Facebook for. Like because of Facebook, I have been able to make connections with people that I normally would not have been able to make connections with before
Mhm.
Facebook. Like, cause like if it wasn't for Facebook, I would have never met my wife. I would have never met you and some other people that are on the Christ Center Mental Health Ministry team. Like,
Yeah.
so like I am thankful for Facebook, and just like in the Facebook groups that I'm in, like there's like a lot of community in those groups. I mean, I try to be careful not to get not to get stuck in those groups, but like the groups that I am in, there and I even like we even have a Christ Center Mental Health Ministry Facebook group where we can actually have a community there and like but like I don't know, it's just I don't know, like Facebook is good for making connections.
Yeah. I'm in a lot of different groups on Facebook, but it seems like most of them, it's like they're either two ways. They're either they're very active and people are fighting in them, or they're pretty much dead and no one really like cares either one way or the other. It doesn't seem like there's no, I don't know. There's some Christian groups that I belong into. I kind of left them though, but there's ones where they kept emphasizing luck. They said like if God will bless you if you will find luck today, and I'd be like, and like everybody would say amen over and over again, and I'd be like the only one like going, since when do Christians believe in luck? Like what's up with
Yeah,
that? Like, and
exactly.
so
That kind of reminds me. I remember back in the day. Actually, me and a mutual friend of ours were talking about this. How back in the day there used to be this meme that would go around where it would show Jesus and the devil arm wrestling, and it will say share this so Jesus will win, or scroll past and the devil will win. And it's like this is so stupid. Like,
yeah, they're that's just a cheap way to get a lot of likes, basically.
exactly. Yeah.
It can make you feel better. These elements provide an increased sense of community and connection, which can decrease anxiety and increase resilience.
Does social media make me more or less connected with others?
Social media can also be valuable for people who are experiencing loneliness. In the US, we were in the middle of a loneliness epidemic even before COVID came, and the isolation of the pandemic only made things worse. However, the catch here is that often online connections are not meaningful or authentic.
It actually makes sense. So like before COVID, I didn't know this, but we were in a loneliness epidemic, and COVID just exacerbated that. And it's like that actually makes sense because people. I have noticed that people do feel disconnected from other, like we were talking about earlier about how kids no longer play outside anymore. They're stuck indoors just playing video games or going on YouTube or whatever. And there's no more like socializing in person. And like yeah, like you could socialize on Facebook, but like Facebook, MySpace, all of that that's not real life.
Yeah,
And like
there's no eye contact. There's no presence there. It's just all on a computer screen, and it's not real.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not real. Like that's why, honestly, like I know people sometimes get mad at other people on Facebook. I can't. I honestly I can't find myself getting mad at someone on Facebook. If I don't know you and like you're and I never even seen your face and I just see a picture of you like that you have on as your profile picture, it's really hard for me to get mad at you because I'm like I don't even know you. Like we're just quote unquote Facebook friends. Like and that's not real life. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna let it go.
Yeah, unlike some other people you know in real life, and then that's different, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And the time spent online takes away from building relationships in the real world, which can lead to a net decrease in connection.
How do social media algorithms worsen my anxiety? Is there anything I can do about it?
The first issue here is that social media is addictive.
Yep.
This is because it promotes dopamine release. When we connect with others or see something stimulating, dopamine is released into our brain's reward pathway, just like it would for drugs or alcohol. This makes us feel good and makes us crave more of the same. The social media algorithms have been developed with the intention of keeping you online. So they feed you more content based on your interactions and activity.
That actually makes sense because like okay, I make it no secret. I like to watch shows on YouTube. I'm like kind of addicted to watching atheist shows on YouTube. Like I do kind of get a dopamine rush when I watch these atheist shows because it's like I don't know how to explain it, but like when I see these atheists that make their arguments and stuff, to me they're such stupid arguments. And like I get a dopamine rush out of like critiquing their arguments. I noticed that since I started, like, now when I look at my YouTube algorithm, like, all YouTube ever shows me are atheist YouTube channels. Like
Yeah.
like sometimes they'll show me like a Christian YouTube channel, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch that. The Christian YouTube channels I usually see now are like Ruslan, What Do You Mean, and Inspiring Philosophy. But other than those three, most of the YouTube content I get fed are like atheist YouTubers. No,
They think you're an atheist, bro.
I'm far from an atheist.
Yeah.
Get pictures of cute puppies. It will
It's only
push more
it's only by the grace of God that I could call myself a Christian.
Amen.
cute puppy pictures or videos to you. However, if you're looking at content like models with Photoshop bodies that worsen your anxiety around your body image, it will also keep pushing more of this content to you as well. You receive this content so quickly and instantaneously that it is hard to think or take a break, like you might in the real world, for example, if you were reading a magazine. But on social media, everything is instant and it's much harder to stop. What can you do about that?
All right, that's enough of that. All right, what did you think? What did you think about that video?
Well, yeah, I agree with it. It was pretty much on point. You know, like
Yeah,
I think from this point forward, I'm gonna let it go as a little bit and try to do more productive
yeah,
stuff. I'm not working. I can actually set time aside, get stuff done here, and do stuff that matters more rather than scrolling all day and looking for
yeah,
cheats and dopamine rushes and stuff.
yeah.
I gotta, something that will give me a dopamine rush probably tonight is that I'm gonna go out with my wife a little bit, but after I get home, if I'm not too tired, I'm a little sick by the way, but if I actually made the house look decent, that would
Yeah,
probably make me feel better about myself in general.
yeah,
So I gotta start doing stuff more like that instead of going on Facebook and doing this for about an hour and just commenting stuff. I should
yeah.
actually put stuff away and throw away the garbage and whatnot and wipe floors and make it look.
Actually, find yourself cleaning. That actually will release a dopamine rush because
Yeah,
like you're being active. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
that's true. Like I know, like when I like exercise, I feel like I have a dopamine rush too.
Mhm. That's a
Or
good
like
way
I
to do
said,
it.
even like it sounds weird, but like I said earlier, like when I read my books, like my books give me a dopamine rush as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing about exercise is like people want results right away, and it doesn't work that way. But if you do it
Yeah,
consistently for about 2 weeks, you will notice a difference in your
yeah,
life. Yeah.
exactly. That's true. All right, one last video, and then we can call it a night. Here it is. Can you see it?
Yeah. It's purple.
It's purple. All right. Can you hear it?
I've had to
Yeah.
learn to manage my time when it came to social media. I found so much online to like, comment on, and share that I often lost track of time, and then I'd feel guilty. I had to take control.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie.
I can kind of feel that. Like before I don't know, when I was like before I got married and I didn't really have anything going for me, like I would like spend a lot of time on Facebook and stuff, and like I would feel guilty because I felt like I was being slothful. And I know slothfulness is a sin, and like
Mhm.
so I feel like, man, I'm not getting anything done. I'm being slothful and lazy. I would feel guilty about it, and like, but then at that time though, I was so depressed. I didn't really want to do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. So like depression and social media kind of go hand in hand that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
and I've experienced some of the advantages and some of the disadvantages of social media firsthand. This is my story. A friend reached out after reading one of my posts on social media. She was really concerned. You see, I broke down and wrote about how isolated I felt on campus. It was my first year of college and my first time making decisions as an adult. I've always been a little shy, so meeting people on social media was a bit easier for me than connecting with people in person.
That right there, I can relate to that. Like, yeah, like I've always been kind of like, I love to socialize even before like I was really big on Facebook. Like when I was in college, like college was probably the highlight of my life. Like I loved college. I loved the interaction with other people on college campus. But even back then, like I felt like I don't know how to, I feel like even back then I did spend an inordinate amount of time on Facebook, and like it was kind of like it was weird. It was kind of like weird because I was socializing with people on my college campus, but then at the same time, it's like compartmentalized like people. I have some friends from college, then I have my friends on Facebook, and like it was like there were two different worlds. Like they did not mix.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of a joke a stand-up comedian said one time. Like one time he had two groups of friends. Then he told one group, he was like, "Hey, don't mind me if I talk to these other people with an English accent because I'm just."
That's funny.
Find out about events going on around campus, join online study groups, and keep in touch with friends back home. As the semester progressed, I stopped meeting new people in person and I stayed in my room more and more. I had to read each and every response to my posts. I wanted to know exactly what people had to say about me, no matter if their words were good or bad. I had more friends
I
on
can understand that because, like, in my teenage years and in my young adult years, I did care what people thought of me. So, like, I would like intentionally, I would like go on Facebook like all the time to see what people were saying about me. I remember in my young teenage years, I used to like I was so insecure. I remember like going up to people that I knew, and I'll ask them if they thought I was stupid or something. And like I was so insecure back then. Nowadays I'm just like I know myself. I'm more content with myself. So nowadays I'm like I don't care what people think of me. And I think that comes with age. Because when you're younger, you tend to, and you're still, when you're younger and you're still developing your sense of self, and like you're like just like navigating through like having your own identity, it's easy for you to fall into the trap of being worried about what other people think of you.
Yeah, that's a lesson I learned a long time ago. Do not care what other people think
Exactly.
about you. Just don't do it. It's a
Exactly.
waste
Like,
of time.
yeah, if you're gonna worry, like first off, if you worry about what people think of you, that's gonna drive you up the wall.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because you can't control what other people think of you, and like yeah, like for instance, like I have in my well, these people aren't really in my life anymore, but like I know a lot of people like and a lot of, I know a lot of people who hate my guts, and I know a lot of people who love me, and people and like out of the people who hate my guts, half of them actually have good reason to hate me because I burnt a lot of bridges when I was younger. Now I do have a lot of people who hate me for no reason, but that's besides the point. But
Like burying.
like Barry. But yeah, I'm just like you can't focus on, oh, does this person like me? Does this person hate me? Because that's just gonna drive you nuts.
Yeah, yeah. That's it's always a mistake to care about what people think about you. You just gotta like like who cares about your reputation? Like what does it matter? Like it's just
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
doesn't matter at all.
exactly.
social media than ever, so why did I feel so lonely?
Hey, Mackenzie, pizza downstairs. Come meet our new neighbors.
I didn't go. I felt nervous about meeting new people. Then I started thinking, why am I even paying to be in college? I wasn't enjoying my time, and my grades continued to fall. After months of feeling this way, I reached a breaking point. I posted, I don't think I can do this anymore. College isn't anything like I expected, and I can't rely on anyone. One of my friends immediately responded,
I'm coming over. Stay where you are.
online relationships shouldn't be the only ones we have. There are lots of great things about social media, like giving support, feeling less lonely, sharing ideas, feeling understood, and having a sense of community.
Yeah,
But there
that's true. Like I think social media is good at creating a sense of community. However, if your community is only on social media, you
That's a
should really
problem.
get you should really, yeah, that's a problem. You should get out. Like go to the library, or even like there's an app called Meet, no, not Meet Me. I can't remember what it was called now. I think it was called Meet Me, but like whatever. There's an app that you can go on, and like whatever you're into. If you're into like walking dogs, you can find a group of people who are walking dogs, and you can meet up with them. You guys can go to a park and walk dogs together, and you can interact with people there. Or if you want to like go, if you like to bowl, you can find a group on Meet Me who like to bowl, and you could go to the bowling alley and like bowl with the people there. Like that app is so good. Like whatever you're in, whatever your niche is, you can actually meet people who are like what you like, and that creates a better community than Facebook does.
Yeah, like Facebook. The thing about the groups on there, yeah, you might find some like-minded people, but your opposition can't help but join the group as well, and you're gonna be in all kinds of debates and all kinds of fights and all kinds of back and forth with people. Like for instance, if you belong into a group that's called Jordan is better than LeBron. What do you think is who's going to join it besides Jordan fans? There's going to be a bunch of LeBron Jan fans in there. Like if
Yeah,
you're in a group that's about anti-vaccine, like you're going to get a bunch of pro-vax people that are going to go in there and give you crap. So
yeah.
seems like every Facebook group I join that has some kind of like a message. The opposition just can't help but go in there and give you crap.
Or
So
I used to be part of these AMBW groups on Facebook. For those of you that don't know what AMBW is, it stands for Asian Men Black Women. It's actually where I actually met my wife. But like in that group, like I used to really like those groups because a sense of community that I got in that group. However, as soon as I started like speaking my conservative views in that group, next thing I know, everybody in those groups turned on me because most of the people in those ABW groups are very ultra liberal. And so now I don't participate in those groups anymore because I got they pretty much shunned me. I'm still in those groups, so no one talks to me anymore because they know I'm a conservative Christian.
yeah. Well,
And like
look at
and
the
in
cookie
today's
crumbles.
day and age, being a conservative Christian is anathema.
Yeah, we are the enemy of the state.
may
Exactly.
also be drawbacks to too much social media use, like increased nervousness and sadness and lower self esteem. I am glad that Leela came over to listen as I talked about the ups and downs of my experience on social media. She helped me find resources that allow me to put guardrails on my social media use. I realized that I needed to balance my time on social media with meaningful personal interactions offline. Little by little, I started to step away from my computer. I even worked up the courage to join Leela at some campus events. Here are 5 tips.
This is why, okay, as a mental health first aider, I learned like if you see somebody who is like in a mental health crisis, Like it's good to like show them understanding and like just encourage like they just showed this girl she was feeling like down in the dumps because she didn't think anybody cared for her, and she posted a status on Facebook or social media saying she's done, and her friend came up to her and like talked to her and encouraged her to like get out more, and like it worked. Like that's every single one of us needs someone like that, somebody
Yeah,
who will someone who will listen to our gripes and who can encourage us to do better.
yeah, that does help. You
Yeah,
can't wait, you can't wait, especially nowadays. It's tough to live on your own, and
yeah,
I've been alone for a long time, and it was not easy. Even though I did manage, to keep my apartment together and never be homeless. Being alone was like torture, basically.
yeah, exactly. Nobody, we weren't meant to be alone. Like even in the Garden of Eden, when Adam had literally everything he could ever need, he was in perfect communion with God. Like God still said it's not good for man to be alone. And that's when he created Eve.
Yeah.
Tips that have helped me on my journey to better mental health while being active on social media. 1. I monitor my screen time. I keep track of how much time I spend on social media. My phone actually has an app that helps with this, making it easy to monitor.
Huh.
2. I'm more selective with the people I connect with. Before making a new connection on social media, I take a moment and ask myself if this connection is something I need or want. 3. I take a break from social media. Every week, I choose a day where I enjoy my life without social media as a conscious choice. It isn't always easy, but it is an important rule for me. 4. I'm mindful of why I use it, whether it's to escape or to connect.
That's
If I spend
actually a
too
good point. Like, be mindful about why you're using social media. Because I kind of feel like sometimes when people go on social media, they're not thinking about why they're on social media. They're just on there to, like, pretty much waste
Waste
time.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
much time using it as an escape, it's a sign I should take a break for a period, so I make an adjustment. I can then use my offline time to get some fresh air, play my guitar, or pick up a book.
Yeah.
5. I limit where and when I use it.
Mm.
I don't take my electronic devices out during meals, and I make a point not to use them while talking with others. I also turn them off an hour before bed. By practicing these tips, I feel more in control of my time, and my mental health has improved. With time, I've managed to improve my relationships both online and offline. It isn't always easy, but managing my social media use is one of the many techniques I use to keep my mental health on the right track.
Alright. What do you
Yeah,
think about
I
that,
think
bro?
that's solid advice. I'm probably gonna take it up myself. Social media has been very, very low lately, so I think I'm gonna take it less seriously from now on.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it too. Like there's no point in getting obsessive over social media. Like it's like social media, like it can be used as a tool, but it's not real life. Like that's something we always have to keep in mind. The stuff that goes on social media, it's not real. Like yeah, you can make some real connections with people, and like you make real friendships with people, but like at the same time though, the people that you're not making real connections with, that are just casual like acquaintances, like they're not real. Like yeah, you might
Yeah,
talk to them, so you might talk to them sometimes on one of your Facebook posts, but like that does not mean that they're a real friend. Like I consider the people who I talk to over the phone and I know in person, I consider them to be real genuine friends. Like if I don't talk to you on the phone and I don't talk to you in person, and you're just someone that comments on my Facebook post every now and
that's an
then,
acquaintance.
yeah, it's an acquaintance. You're not a real connection.
Yeah, yeah. People use social media for all kinds of reasons, but I think less of
Yeah,
it would be beneficial for everybody.
exactly. Yeah. Like honestly, I mean, it's probably. I mean, I am thankful in one sense with social, because if it wasn't for social media, I would have never been able to start this ministry. However, I kind of do wish we could go back to the times where there was no social media and we actually had to make meaningful interconnect. We had to make meaningful connections with people in person. Like I go okay, I kind of feel conflicted on that because on the one hand, I think it would be better for us to make meaningful connections with people in person, but then again, at the same time, though, if there was no social media, I would have never met my wife, and I would have never met the people that I know that I'm close to now. So, like, I kind of feel conflicted on that a little bit.
Yeah, I do kind of wonder if it wasn't for social media, where would my life be right now? Like it would be a lot different.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So I can't really say one way or another whether or not social I mean social media is neither good or bad. It's how we use it that makes it bad or good.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
it's neutral.
It's neutral, yeah. It's just like anything else on the internet. The internet is neutral. The internet is not good or bad. It's how we use the internet that makes it good or bad.
Yeah, it's our
What is
heart problem.
exactly? It's a heart problem. Exactly. All right. So, like, I don't have anything else to say about. Is there anything closing remarks you want to make?
Well, it's kind of. I can see why people might think it's hypocritical. We're saying this on YouTube and using the internet to get this message out, but
Yeah.
it's still we still have a point. Like less of it would
Exactly.
be good for us.
Exactly. And okay, so I guess that's enough of that. But like, I do want to say, like, our next episode of Real Life with Schizophrenia it won't be next Thursday because it's only every other Thursday. So our next episode will be the Thursday after next Thursday. Um, and if you guys have any topics you want us to go over, feel free to either contact me or Joseph and let us know what topics you want us to talk about.
Because we're running
Next,
out of ideas.
yeah, yeah, we are running out of ideas. And also, next Wednesday, I'm restarting my Wednesday night mental health sermon review. I'm restarting that. That's going to be next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm reviewing a sermon titled The Troubled Soul by a pastor named Pastor C.J. Mahaney, I think his name is. So tune in for that next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, and if you guys have any other mental health sermons that you want me to review for that show, feel free to like send them my way. And also, I'm also looking for someone to interview. If you're a Christian who deals with mental illness, or if you're a Christian, like, or you're a man or a woman who has been affected by abortion, or if you're a mental health professional who's either Christian or secular, if you want to be interviewed, please hit me up either by at the ministry or the ministry email, which is christcentermentalhealth at gmail.com, or you could call me at 567-343-3727. You could call me and we could work out a time and day so I can interview you. I mean, so yeah, like those are the updates. Like, feel free to reach out to me on any of those topics. And I want to thank the viewers who watched this live stream. Thank you, Joseph, for joining me for another episode. And I wanna thank the viewers who are gonna watch the playback to this live stream. And please leave a like on this video, share this video with someone that you think would benefit from the message in this video, and comment below. Let us know what you guys think about what we talked about on this episode. And if you've been blessed by the Christ Center Mental Health Ministry, please consider supporting the ministry either through Patreon, Venmo, or Cash App. For a $5 or more pledges on Patreon, or a one-time donation of $10 or more on Cash App or Venmo, I'll send you a few copies of my books as a token of my gratification. All right, have a good night, everyone, and
Right.
stay strong in the Lord.
God bless.